All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, sisters, you too. This is Pastor Dow. I want to come up on here and I want to do a video as far as family training, home rearing, or children rearing. Let's just talk about families. We may hit a few cases here, you know what I mean? But my whole ideal here is to try to help you to see what they've done with us in this society as a people, to get you to understand today why we have so many dysfunctional homes. A lot of times when you see broken homes or dysfunctional homes, a lot of times we want to blame both parties when both parties are not to blame. I give you an example. And when we, I'm just going to use me, so I don't incriminate a lot of other people, but I want you to really truly listen to what I'm saying. Growing up, my children hardly ever, they could probably count on less than one hand, or half of a hand, the times that they have actually saw me and their mother, what you would call fighting. That's not to say that we didn't have disagreements, but I put a lot of emphasis on women being the first line teachers at home of the children, because the men, those who are not infidels, they are out working, they are providing for the home, providing for the house, and they're doing their role. They're doing what they're supposed to do, so that the women can have sufficient amount of resources to do their job. The problem that we're having is the way that our women today, the mothers, have in their mindset. You have to understand that everything that you do, mama, is being recorded by your children. And so it's very important for you to know how to handle situations at home. Women, you are the ones that's responsible for creating an environment of love. If you don't create an environment of love at home, it's ultimately your children is going to be a direct reflection of you. And the last thing you want is to have regrets because you couldn't get past yourself, or you was too hurt or too bitter, and you acted out of character. And that acting out of character, your children recorded that, and it followed them into adulthood, and they are set permanently. And they think this is the way life's supposed to be and how they're supposed to respond. That's the reason why today we have an epidemic of rebellious children, especially when they get older and get adults. And a lot of people incarcerated, a lot of divorces, and a lot of dysfunctional homes because they haven't been raised in an environment to where the home is full of love. I'll give you an example. If a wife truly loves her husband, and she has a disagreement with him, she's not going to slander the husband in front of the children. She's not going to holler. She's not going to scream. She's not going to curse at her husband out in front of the children where the children can see these things. She's simply not going to do this, simply because she doesn't want the children to have an alternate picture or a different picture of the man. Now, the man may be a piece of crap. He may be a piece of crap. But the problem is if the man is a piece of crap, the last thing that you want to do is you want to present an area to the children that's the only thing that they see is this man being a piece of crap. Because if this man is a piece of crap, what's going to happen is the children are going to develop an attitude against their father. And they're going to grow up resentful, very bitter, and very vindictive and angry towards him based on the reaction of the mother. Or if the mother goes around and she, instead of creating an environment of love, see, the children should see the wife actually loving on her husband, supporting her husband, never speaking anything negative against her husband, never running around the house with a downcast countenance or spirit of attitude to present something that the children would be sensitive towards their mother, because children are sensitive toward their mother. So if the mother is creating an unhealthy environment, regardless of what's going on within the house, and she is not putting forth the environment to where that the children are secure in the love of their father, then the children are going to grow up resenting their father because they're close to the mother. So mothers, you have a big job out there to make sure that you don't taint your children's attitude or opinion towards their father. Because they're around you all the time, and they're going to see you, your hurts, your pains, your successes, your failures, your joys. And when they see that and they see something other than that, secretly in their heart, they're recording all this, and then it's going to affect them when they get older. Then they're not going to know how to respond and react, because they're going to think that they're responding and reacting right based on the first line teacher, which is the mother that they saw. So you see women growing up disrespecting their husbands, disrespecting authority, They've seen it in their own home. Growing up as children, they're going to think that they can continue to keep doing the same thing. And that's the reason why it's especially serious that you men be a good role model, especially for your young men, your boys. Now, sure enough, they're going to make their own choices and decisions when they grow up and they get older. But, you know, they're going to have a set point that's going to be given to them by their mother. She's the first line teacher of the home. That's why the Bible says it takes a wise woman to build a house, but a foolish woman will pluck it down with her hands. And many, many homes are dysfunctional. They ain't plucked down simply because the children are more in tune with the feelings and emotions of their mother. The mother has not created a healthy environment to strengthen the head of the house. They have never seen the man being lifted up. They have never seen love in a home. The children never saw love in a home. They never saw this undying support, regardless of her opinion of that man at that particular time, and it's built up a wall and it's built up resentment against that man. And then the man ends up having to fight just for his own personal sanity, has to fight in order to maintain the integrity of his heart to continue to keep putting forth biblical examples and biblical truths. And when he's putting forth these biblical examples and these biblical truths, most people who haven't had it in their heart and mind, they're going to go against it. They're literally going to go against it. And so the fight is going to be even greater. And when these children grow up to be adults, we're going to see the same old perpetuated evil continue to keep going over and over and over again. And as a result, we're watching the decline of our society. So mothers, my advice to you is that you always create a healthy environment of love. You never ever paint a picture with a sorry countenance, a downcast countenance, or an environment to where you are disgruntled and distraught and stuff. You let your children at all costs see what love is. You love that man because everything, the way you respond, the way you do is ultimately going to affect them later on in life. If you're in a particular relationship, whether it be married or whatever, and it's unhealthy, get yourself free, because the Most High Yah has called us to peace. Get yourself free of that tyranny, get yourself free of that opposition, so that your children is not raised in that unhealthy environment. But bottom line is, no matter what, mother, the way you present yourself is going to affect the children. They're very young. You are the first line teachers. So you can't just say that you didn't have any impact upon their lives and shaping their values and shaping their minds as we go forward here, when you've been the very instrument that these children have saw. If they grow up in an abusive home, they're going to think that that's the way that their home's supposed to be. If they grow up in a home where they see that the woman is going against the authority of the man, the patriarchal authority of the man, then these women, these young women, these young girls that's going to grow up to be women, they're going to think that that's just the nature, that's the way things supposed to be, and they're going to disrespect, dishonor, and talk back to their man. And we're going to continue to keep seeing the decline of this society right here. I hope I said something to stimulate your thought and your mind. Men, if your home is turned upside down and you allow yourself to be disrespected and dishonored in your home, you deserve exactly what you get. What we're ultimately going to see in this society, the end result is we're going to have a lot of lonely, old people. That's what's ultimately going to happen. There's going to be no companionship. That's what's going to happen. The devil, the enemy, has accomplished his mission by conquering and dividing. And that's the reason why we have a bunch of Ahab men and a bunch of Jezebel women who would not submit to biblical terms. So I hope I said something to stimulate your thought. I hope that this morning I give you something to think about very, very seriously as we go forth. And if you have injured your children's mind, if you have injured their hearts some way, somehow, by displaying a character other than an honorable woman in the scriptures, you should repent and do everything you can to try to make it right. If you've been a man that has not provided, but you have abandoned, deserted, and everything, and hey, a lot of times those wounds are so deep that I don't even know if they can be recovered or not. Because men, you're supposed to be in the stead of the Most High, just like the Most High being the head of the family. You're supposed to provide for them, and many men have failed today because of being, again, raised in dysfunctional homes. It's hard to create a home environment when the home is not together the way that it should. So a lot of times when you see people that are separated, divorced, or whatever you want to call it, that doesn't mean that the mother or the father was instrumental in that. It's just that there are people who are just simply not going to do right. They're simply not going to do it. They're not going to submit to biblical terms. They have grown tired just like everybody else, and they can no longer put up with the tyranny. They can no longer put up with the injustices. They can no longer put up with the inadequacies of not being provided for, people deserting them, abandoning them. They're not knowing where their next meal coming from. They don't know if they're going to have a roof over their head. They're in a state of flight. And so, you know, most people are built on self-preservation, so they're going to pretty much do what they can, all that they can, to preserve themselves from further harm and danger. Anyways, good marriage counsel, good family counsel this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and eat because we're out again. Myself and Brother James is on the camera here, and we got a lot of work to do today. Hope I said something to stimulate your thought and encourage your heart. Have a good day.